The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Harrell. This ball complete to Trey Palmer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the 2 of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. His 4th rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 7 overall. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. They'll start on the ground with Brooks. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Harrell. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
You talk about this Jets defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Penix. That is caught.
And he's got some space here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Brooks.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
The Falcons at 7-2 here on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Penix.
And that's incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free.
They'll go for it. Here's Penix. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
So they get the conversion on 4th, and now from the 25, they operate with a 1st and 10.
They'll send Mitchell in motion right.
Operating from the gun, Penix. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Harrell flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
You talk about this Falcon defense.
They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
At their own 36-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7. A handoff running left, Brooks.
And a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They'll throw with Penix. Looking deep here for Mooney. And that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Falcons have got it back to within a score. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll cut it to 3 and 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Off play action.
Harrell.
Got a man open. It's Ross. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Here's a handoff to Brooks running left.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To the air, Penix. And caught by London.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run here with Brooks. And he loses the football a second time. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll run straight ahead with Brooks.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. And looking to throw, Penix. That's pulled in by Brooks.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
Penix working out of the gun here. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Jets are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Harrell looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 50 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
That's again complete to Palmer.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down.
And the Jets would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports.
And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Up the middle with Brooks here. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll look to throw now on first down.
This ball taken in here by Brooks.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continue.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Open man is Ross, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Let's go now. Come my team.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And caught by Thomas. Touchdown, Jets. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Jets are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
Fighting through the tackle at the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Ready?
Once again, it's Brooks.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Check that. Check. Go.
On third down, they go with Brooks.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
Warrior 70.
They are going for it. Penix work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man complete. That's Brooks. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
It's a short one here, complete to... And he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Let's go now.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for third and goal.
He'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Badgley's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this fourth quarter. Quinnen Williams in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Under pressure, they got him again. Quinnen Williams in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That one deep for London.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose. And just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground. And he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's Penix.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Williams getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. Looking to throw, Penix. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Now Penix. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. To throw again is Penix. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, smash Bronco.
Back to throw again. And he will find his man on the outside. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea